Hey guys, it's Jalen and welcome back to the channel. As you guys can read by the title, yes, I know. Y'all about to tell me, oh my god, Jay, we thought you were this sweet person that just always getting taken advantage of. We did not think you to be this type of person. Okay, I know y'all didn't think of me to be this type of person, but just know I ain't got a clean record. But yes, we're gonna be talking about the time that I cheated on my boyfriend with his best friend. Yeah, I know. I know it's a lot to take in, and it happened more than once. So, it's a lot to take in. But before we do that, make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Turn on the post notification bell so you guys know every time that I post a brand new video. And yeah, let's get into all this craziness. Roll that goddamn intro.
JB Morrow, go and get your bag.
Okay, so this story takes place in 2020, and I told you guys a story time about the party, the birthday whole situation where the guy was doing coke in the bathroom. Yeah, told you guys about that whole story time. And this takes place the month after. Now, mind you, this was happening in August. So the first week of August, I was trying to look to see what shelters I could stay in. Couldn't stay in no shelter. So I was like, damn, can't really stay in a shelter. So I said, fuck it. I'ma just try to find somewhere to stay. So fraudulent wasn't even in this picture. Irrelevant, because the person that I did cheat on was irrelevant. So this happened while I was dating Irrelevant. Irrelevant already knew about this incident because I ended up just telling Irrelevant, and we made up because I ended up fucking Irrelevant the night that I told him that this happened, and that was my way of making it up to him. And he was like, okay, well, you threw some pussy in my face. You made it up. I slept with the guy too in the past, so I don't really give a fuck. So that's basically how Irrelevant was treating the situation. So remember, his grandmother had went to DR, and we had, kept that little space. We kept her apartment, and we upkept it, and we were just staying there temporarily. So for the summer, that's what we were doing. So then this week in August comes by, the first week in August, and now I'm scrambling, rushing, trying to find somewhere to stay because the shelters, they weren't open. This is still COVID, so we still trying to find somewhere to stay. And well, I'm still trying to find somewhere to stay, but Irrelevant is helping me find somewhere to stay. So we're going to call, first of all, we're going to call the boy, we're going to call him Daniel. But we're not going to get into how we interacted with Daniel. I'm not going to get into that just yet. So that whole week, I'm looking because his grandmother's coming back from DR. So we need to find somewhere. So it was the third day that she was about to come back. It was the third day, and she was coming back on the fourth day. So the third day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just look for somewhere to stay. So then Irrelevant ends up telling me, hey, why don't you stay like 2 nights with this boy Daniel? So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's your friend, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to go spend time with y'all during the day. You just come and meet me when you're done hanging out with your friend. At the time, I'm going to give her a name. She's not really important to the story, but we're going to call her Daisy. So I was hanging out with Daisy earlier in the day, and Daisy had told me, well, girl, go later in the night, go to this man, go stay with him. So he had let his friend Daniel know that I was going to go over there. And mind you, at the time, they were like really best friends. I had met Daniel already, so I already knew who Daniel was. I can't insert a video of who Daniel is, and I can't insert the video because the video is going to get a lot of people in trouble. So I'm just going to say that I met Daniel at a party that me and Irrelevant was throwing, and this was earlier that same year, and Fraudulent had Fraudulent was crushing on his best friend, who we later found out that they were hunching and munching, but they had broke up, so which is why Daniel had owned up his own spot. So if that confused y'all, I will get into it later at a later time. I'll probably tell that whole party situation is a whole story time within itself. But yeah, we're gonna get into that at a later time. But just so y'all know, this time I said, okay, well, I'll just go to his house. So then I ended up getting his number. So I'm texting him. I'm texting Daniel. I'm like, oh, hey, It's 8 o'clock, so I'm about to head over to your crib. Send me your address. He was like, nah, I'm gonna throw you in a cab. So I was like, okay, cool. So he paid a cab for me to come. So I got in the cab. The cab took me to the Heights. Mind you, this guy was, I guess he was renting a room or something because he had roommates, but it was in the Heights. So I was like, okay, cool. No problem. So when I get there, Irrelevant's already there. So I asked Irrelevant, I'm like, oh, what you doing here? He was like, oh, I'm just chilling here. I'm going to stay here for a little bit, and then I'm going to go and head to my mom's house. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm, freshening up in the bathroom, and I hear these two, like, giggling and getting all, like, being all friendly, real too friendly. So I was like, red flag number one. But I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. He did sleep with Fraudulent at the beginning of the summer. And it's August, and I still haven't got my get back. Mind you, in 2020, when I was 20 years old, I just turned 20. So in 2020, I was very much so petty. It was very much so COVID, and it was nothing to really do. So I was always being a petty bitch.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And I said, you know what? Instead of getting mad at him and doing a whole big show, because I already confronted him about the cheating, instead of doing something like that, let me get back at this nigga and show him how much it hurts when somebody cheats on you.
Period! 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 Period!
So I already had my plan in my brain. So I had already went to the deli and got me a little bit of food, got me some snacks. So I'm just sitting there eating my shit. And I have, my bags with some of my clothes. Now, the other half of my clothes was with Irrelevant in Irrelevant's mom's house. So Irrelevant had the other half of my clothes. I had my summer clothes in my duffel bag, and he had the winter clothes over there. So I'm holding my duffel bag, and I'm like, okay, I have all my summer stuff in there, and he's got my winter stuff. My brain just did a whole confuck, and I'm gonna leave it in there just so y'all can see how fucked up my brain is. Cause y'all gonna be looking at me like, wait, bitch, what? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I had this whole plan in my head. I was like, you know what? He got my clothes, he got my other half of clothes over there, and I got these clothes here. I'm only staying with this guy for 2 days, which I only ended up staying the night because Irrelevant was like, oh yeah, you can come live with me. You can come live with me and my mom. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So I ended up staying the night. Being that I was staying the night, I said, you know what? Let me do my little sneak and creep and my little cheat real quick.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch. I don't know who that hoe is.
So, mind you, Irrelevant is still there. We're all chilling now in the room. And he asked me, he's like, oh, do you want to smoke? So I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. I was like, do you want me to roll a blunt or you want to roll a blunt? He's like, nah, I got it. He's like, I'll roll a blunt, You wanted me to roll you another one. So he rolled 2 blunts. We went to his little staircase, and at the time, I guess, there was the big rule. And remember in 2020 and 2019, that era of weed, where weed was very much so, if the cops caught you smoking, you was going to the precinct, right? Whereas now, you smoke a blunt outside, you smoke a blunt in the staircase, they can't legally take you anywhere. Unless somebody, that was nasty, that was a nasty burp. Unless somebody reports it. So I wasn't really looking out to see if anybody was coming. We didn't really give a fuck. So we started smoking. Irrelevant had came outside, and Irrelevant was sitting in the hallway with us. So me and him are smoking. And then Irrelevant goes, I don't know how you guys could smoke weed. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know how it makes you guys depression feel better and makes you guys heal from certain stuff. So Irrelevant's kind of getting into that type of conversation about weed. And you know me. Anybody that knows me knows I love to talk about the good benefits of weed. Weed helps with a lot of different things. Now, Irrelevant has certain problems with his stomach. So, weed is one of the things that will help with that specific problem. Even doctors have told him this before, right? So I brought that up. And I had said, hey, you don't have to smoke, but you could eat an edible here and there, get your stomach acting right down there. He was like, no, I just don't want to get too hooked on it. And then I start relying on that when, there's other medicines I could take. I was like, first of all, you don't even like taking medicine in general. You hate medication. You think all medication is bad. You kind of grew up thinking that medication was bad. So from what he told me, and so if you already have this bad idea about medication, I don't know why you're trying to choose medication over weed when the doctor even said that he can get you a card that the medical card so that you can get weed for your your little stomach issues. And I had told him that. And I wasn't getting it. We didn't get into an argument, but he just kind of agreed to disagree. So we just left it at that. Me and Daniel, we finished smoking the blunts, and then, Irrelevant is like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave. You guys stay here. I trust that you're gonna take care of my boyfriend. This is what he tells Daniel. And Daniel says, yeah, I'm gonna take good care of him. And so, Irrelevant is a little slow. Irrelevant don't catch on to things. Irrelevant don't catch on to innuendos. Irrelevant don't catch on to nothing. So I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, yeah, Irrelevant's dumb as fuck. Does he not know what that means by take care of? Like, did you not pay attention to how he said it? Cause me, I would have went off. I would have been like, oh, you're gonna take care of him? What you mean you're gonna take care of him? That's how I would have been, because I'm smart like that and I know, innuendos like that. Irrelevant doesn't really know those types of terms and those types of things, because Irrelevant is very much so textbook, dictionary. Irrelevant is very dictionary. Irrelevant don't understand slang. He don't understand how undertones work. He don't understand how people's tones of voice. He don't understand those type of things. So if you're yelling at him, he thinks you're angry. If he thinks everything's very direct. He's a direct person. He doesn't allude to things. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's direct, and his delivery can be fucked up sometimes, but he's a direct person. So when he's around people that aren't as direct like him, it fucks with his brain. So he didn't really understand that. He just looked and he just gave me a look, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, you're cool, I'm cool. So Irrelevant went in the house to go get his stuff. He got his stuff and he ended up dipping out, because he had to work the next day anyway. So he knew that if he would have stayed here, he would have been up late night, he would have had to call off. And at the time, he had just started his career. So he did not want to take any days off. He was like, I am not taking no motherfucking days off. We not doing that. I'm going to go to work. So he left. He got in an Uber, went to his mom's house, and then I guess he went to New York. Went to work. My brain, it's the weed, y'all. It's the weed. But, yeah. So he had went to work, and I had stayed with this guy. Like I told y'all guys, I was needing somewhere to stay. So, that was nice of Irrelevant to find somewhere for me to stay. But Irrelevant didn't know what I was about to do. So we got back in the house, and, me and Daniel just talking. I'm getting to know Daniel. I'm getting to know how he is. He gets comfortable in his house as he should. So he's like, I like to sleep. I like to sleep with my shirt off. Is that cool? Mind you, it was only one bed. He didn't have an air bed. He didn't have anything like that. He only had one bed, so we had to sleep in the same bed. So even if I didn't want to, even if I didn't go into this situation wanting to cheat, I was still going to end up doing it, because this man's body, god damn, like, I can't even tell you. Like, I'm trying to, like, not make y'all want to nut all over y'all phone screens or y'all TV screens. Ew. But, baby, this man's body, oh, my God. Thinking about it right now got me smiling, because, bitch, this man's body, yo. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of what his body kind of looked like. But, babes, that body, oh my God. His arms, girl. He was just so dreamy, and he was dreamy in the face, and he's one of those dudes he's not DL at all, and he's just so mysterious, and he's one of those, like, gym rat, muscular, masculine men. And he's the type that he's like that, and he's all muscular like that, but he likes slim, thick bitches like me. See, back in 2020, a bitch was still coming off of the puberty body. Okay, I refer to my slim, thick body, the body I used to have before, I started slimming down and losing a little bit of weight because of my depression. Because, yeah, when the whole situation happened between me and Fraudulent had stabbed me or whatever, and I had told, part 1 of this video is already up, so if you guys seen it, then you guys know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, after that whole situation, I had also lost weight because of the stabbing. And on top of that, the stabbing reduced my diet for a long period of time. And then on top of that, I started getting depression, and I just didn't want to eat. But when you're dating somebody like Irrelevant, which is why I said in that video, Irrelevant is the type of person to where he has more bad things about him than good, but there were some good things about him. One thing I can say, Irrelevant always made sure I ate. He would be aggressive with me and say disgusting words to me when I wouldn't eat. Call me stupid and idiotic and just things like that when I wouldn't eat. But one thing I will say, he always made sure I ate. 100%. I will never deny that to nobody. I will never cap. If I wanted food, nigga ordered it for me, nigga bought it for me, I will give him his tens. I will give him his credit. So, being that I had that nice, slim, thick, caramel body, ass was real big, poking out, thickums, right? Thick. Very thick. And he loved bitches. He loved, like, femboys like that. When when Daniel and Irrelevant had their little situation, Irrelevant didn't have that feminine body that he liked. So he told me, he's like, damn, he's like, I didn't like, and this was later, so I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to what he said about my body and how he complimented me. But y'all, when I tell you this man's body looked like Jesus had carved it himself. I had to look up at the sky because I'm looking out of a window right now. I had to look up at the sky, babes. I had to look up at the sky because this man's body was sculpted by Jesus himself. In Jesus' name, I pray that man is getting the best head right now because he was immaculate. Body, immaculate. Dick, 9 inches. Immaculate. Penis was immaculate. Just immaculate. He was just a god.
Hold on on that. Hold on. Now, hold on. I'm not going to say that.
This man was a god down to his... God, I just don't want to keep talking about this man's body, but he is a panty dropper. He is instead of rip me out the plastic, I've been acting brand new. Nah, baby, rip these panties off because this pussy is brand new, babes. Like, for real.
Why would she say that?
He was just that type of dude. Like, he just looked that fucking good. Like, it's just nothing else I could say that will make y'all not want to see a picture of this man. Like, I can't show you a picture of the man. I don't even have a picture of him. But I will show you a picture of what his body kind of looked like. But it was just so perfect. Even the picture that I'm going to put on the screen don't do it justice. Like, he just looked like a motherfucking god. Like Poseidon himself. Like, girl, Zeus. Like, the Greek gods. Like, he just looked like a god. So, his body was on 10. He took off his shirt. And in my head... The little gay fairies I have running around in my brain trying to make sure that this whole gay body operates properly. The gay fairies, it's like that episode of SpongeBob where all the SpongeBobs was running around in SpongeBob's brain and the office turned on fire. It was...
You don't pay me. We don't even exist. We're just a clever visual metaphor used to personify the abstract concept of thought. One more crack like that and you're out of here. No, please! I have 3 kids. You heard the man.
Like that, but instead of the office turning on fire, the office just turned into nut. Like, that's just how my brain was I was gawking, like my brain was just nutting on itself. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to y'all. Like, I'm just gonna move on with the story because if I keep talking about this man's body, I might have to go turn this camera off. So yeah, he takes off his shirt. Man, when I tell you this man takes off his shirt, takes it off, he sits on the bed. He's like, come sit on the bed. Why you still standing? So I go to sit on the bed, and then he pulls me into his lap, facing him. He's like, this whole time, like, I've been wishing that you wasn't with this nigga. Like, I could tell he's not your type. He's not somebody that you want. I've seen you staring at my body. The amount of times that I've been around you and him and your other friends, you always stared at my body. You always chose to sit next to me. Even when your man was in the room, you sat next to me. You let me put my hand on your thighs before. You let me hug you certain ways. Like, he's just describing all the things that's going through my brain. I'm like, yeah, damn, you right. I did let you do this. Yep, I did let you do that. I definitely did let you do this. So, all of that's going through my brain. Like I said, I have the other story time to tell y'all when we first met. But he's telling me all of this, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to hear you talk anymore. And I told him, I said, listen, if you want to do something, just do it. So he grabs my chin, and we start making out, y'all. Like, making out. We just start making out. Mind you, he only had his shirt off. So while we making out, I'm rubbing my hands all over his chest. I'm touching his muscles. I'm feeling on them abs. Oh! I'm feeling on all of that. I'm touching all of that, girl. I'm feeling on him, feeling on his body, his back. I had my nails done, and they weren't stiletto. They were coughing like how my nails are right now. But I was digging them into his back because I was like, oh my God, his back just, ugh, it's just immaculate, right? So we're making out. He starts taking off my clothes. And when he's taking off my clothes, like, you know how like bitches do this and they be rubbing their body? But he didn't do it from up here. I do it from up here to give off a sexy look. Like, that's usually, girls will rub their body like that because they have titties. I don't have titties, but I normally would be like, oh, right here, da-da-da, right? So he goes on my curves and he just rubs down. He starts on my curves, he rubs down, and then he scoops his hands on my ass and he goes to lay more back on the bed. So he takes off all my clothes. I'm stark ass naked. Body on 10 though. Body is T. Body has always been T. I'm going to insert pictures of my body now. My body now isn't what it used to be, but she's still T. Okay? Depression happened and she's still T. Body is still giving cunts. Okay? Body is still giving. So, yeah, my body was still giving. So I'm stark ass naked. So I said, you know what? His dick is hard. I'm sitting in his lap. Let me go to work and show him what this mouth and throat could do. So I took off his pants, took off his underwear. He was stark ass naked, and I went down and I started giving him the little. I was doing my little slurp. Kept slurping. He didn't want me to stop giving him head, so I kept doing it and kept giving him head. And while I'm giving him head, he told me to flip so my ass was in his face. So he's eating me out while I'm giving him his little, I'm giving him his little, double hand. I watched Charisma Monet on YouTube. What she called it in one of her videos? The double hand twist. Double hand twist. Yes, that's what I was giving him. And very much so, within about 10 minutes of me doing that, mind you, all of this that I'm describing to you happened in the span of 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, his lava was being poured into my mouth. I swallowed the lava, because bitch, spitters are quitters. If you spit out lava, I just letting you know that you're a punk ass bitch. You're a whack ass bitch if you spit out lava. Now I get it. We ain't gonna be swallowing random niggas cum, but we ain't fucking random niggas, okay? This is somebody that I knew was clean for a fact. Takes care of his body, eats right, he's healthy. He's just that man. So I swallowed that lava, baby. Definitely was swallowing that lava. He was eating my cakes and moaning. Now, you know when a guy moans, it's very low, but he was moaning into my buns, and so it kind of gave off this like slight vibration, and it just felt great. But yeah, so he did that, and I had swallowed the lava, and with me swallowing the lava, he proceeded to tell me, so now how you want this dick? So I said, well, however the fuck you want to give it to me. Babe, I'm gonna speed this up because I'm not gonna describe everything in detail. I'm just gonna say this, we went from being in doggy, he nutted in me. We went to me riding him, nutted in me once again. Then, for the final one was missionary. He went in, kept going in, and he nutted all over me. Just like all over. It's just his shot on me, mine shot on myself. Like, it was one of those, like, if you ever read Wattpad books, those gay fan fictions, when they fucking missionary, and the cum just shoots from the person that's receiving the penis, and then the top just takes his dick out and just nuts on everything. Yeah. I wasn't trying to say nut because this is YouTube and they will take this video down. But please YouTube don't. But yeah, so that kind of we'll just say an explosion of fireworks happened from both penises. So yeah, we both ended up exploding. And after that, he cuddled me the whole night, went to sleep, slept with him and everything, cheated and everything, took another nigga's and everything, babes. Swallowed that nut and everything. Rode that and everything, babe. Fuck this man and everything. Y'all can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm hitting my thighs as if I was getting fucked. As if I was fucking somebody. But yeah, girl, did all of that. So the next day, right, it's the morning. Irrelevant texts me. He's like, good morning, baby. And when he says good morning, baby, this boy is like, turn that shit the fuck off. Don't even answer him. Cause it was like at least 9 o'clock in the morning. But his whole message thread, I read it, the whole message thread. And I always turn off my read receipts on my iPhone. And I did this to Irrelevant because Irrelevant used to always leave me on red. So I turned mine off so I can constantly leave him on red without him knowing. So I turned on my red receipts, and he sent a whole big bubble. Good morning, my love. My mom said, you can, stay with us and da da da. So I was like, okay. So he's like, whenever you're done, come. When you're done, showering and getting ready, just go to my mom's house. You can wash up there. He was like, oh, my brother is gonna be home, so you can, shower there, get ready, and come meet me downtown so we can go hang out with our friends. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. That was the plan. So then I had read all of that, and then he had basically told me, no, put your phone away. So then when he did that, he had woke up in the morning, dick was brick again. So I had went and gave him the double hand twist, had given him that, once again, swallowed lava. And then he walked me downstairs. He called me a cab to Irrelevant's mom's house. And then that same day, I had ended up telling Irrelevant, like, yeah, I did sleep with him. And yeah, I did do this. And then he had told me, he was like, it's okay because I was going to tell you anyways. This is why I wanted to take you out and spend a nice, time with you because I had slept with him too. So we both had slept with this man. And, honestly, we both let that incident go because we both cheated with the same guy, and we both knew that it was wrong. And we both mutually agreed to just never do that again. But, clearly I was the only one that kept up with the agreement after that, and he just kind of ignored the agreement and didn't want to go on that. So, yeah, that's the ending of this story time. There are more story times to come. I am going to tell the other story time with Daniel, when me and Daniel first met. But that will be coming at a later date. I want to finish all this fraudulent stuff. I want to get out all these other 2020 stories before I tell, some of the other funny ones. I want to get some of the serious ones out the way. And yeah, and I want to get you guys more, talking videos, advice videos, and just talking on the channel. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know by giving this video a big fat thumbs up. Turn on those post notification bells so you know every time that I post. Like I said, subscribe and share. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, girlies.